Hello and welcome to the Backyard Machine Shop. We're back on the machine rescue series and we're going to change things up a little bit. We've primarily been concentrating on the New Haven lathe, and I've talked to you a little bit about the shaper. But what I hadn't talked to you about was I also picked up two power hacksaws. The one I have here is an Armstrong Blum, and it's pre-Marvel, I think, but it's basically a Marvel #2 saw. I would date it probably in the early 40s, late 30s, maybe newer than that, but it doesn't have the Marvel markings on it. It only has the Armstrong Blum. And this one, I've seen them in different setups, and some of them have hand cranks, and some of them got neural knobs, and this one has a neural knob. However, it is powered by a motor. I haven't touched this saw yet, except for maybe just looking over a couple of things to see what needs to be done. But I want to do something a little different on this one. Instead of concentrating on a full-blown restoration, tear down, and paint and put it back together, I'm going to see what it takes to get this saw to cut a piece of metal. And that's all we're going to concentrate on doing. We'll clean it up where we need to clean it up, take it apart where we need to take it apart to fix, make the repairs, and do the minimum, just bare minimum, and see if we can get it to cut metal. I haven't, like I said, I haven't touched the saw. I know it's missing its vise, so I've got an idea what to use there. I'm gonna make something up and use it, and eventually we'll make a vise. I know where one of these are sitting that I can go get the measurements and actually make the part. So it's got a broke handle on it. It's rusted up pretty bad. It's got a gearbox and it's got a motor. The motor doesn't look to be in that good a shape. We'll take it apart and see. But whatever it takes us to cut a piece of metal with this saw is what we're going to do. Like I said, we're going to do the minimum. We'll probably take it apart, wire wheel it real good, clean it up, roll it up, and get it going, and just to see what it takes. And I'll keep a track of the record of what I spend and how many hours we work on it. So I guess the first thing we want to do is I'm going to come back here and I'm going to take loose the motor and just get it out of the way, and we'll open up this gearbox and look at that. Well, actually we need to take it loose, open the gearbox up first, and we'll open the gearbox up and work on there. Like I said, there's been a few things done on this saw. It's got a lot of brazing up in here. This apparently it's been hit or something and broken, and somebody's brazed all this back together. And right now I'm going to use it like that. It looks to be a really good braze job. It's just ugly. But what I'll do, if I decide to completely restore the saw, we'll come in here and and recast this arm. It'll look like too bad of a casting. I can send it out and have it recasted. So anyway, let's get started on it. All right, I need to find something here. This is it's got an oil level in here. So I don't know how much oil's in it, so I want to find something to catch it in case there is. So give me a couple seconds. We're going to take loose this this gearbox here, and there's an oil fill plug. So I'm assuming that there's going to be a gasket and whatnot in here, and it's just, I don't feel a drain, so we just going to have to open it up and let it drain. So we got a plastic tub here to catch it if there's any oil in it. Alright, here's one of the screws. Like I said, I haven't done anything. This is going to be, you're going to watch me do this whole saw. It might take me a few days, but we're going to try to do this there you go, it's full of water. About that. Didn't have water level. I assumed it was going to be. So hopefully it ain't too bad in there. But sitting outside, as long as they've been sitting outside, you never know. Now, like I said, I know where one of these are at. It doesn't have this fancy stuff on it here, but I think it's just that it's missing with it. It's not that it didn't come with. Now, let me find a little tapper. Leave that one fast until I get this one loose. There we go. Alright guys, y'all ready to see what's under here? Wow. Alright, it is not like the one that I found. This one's got a silent chain, and it's everything in here looks to be really, really nice condition. Let's see if we can. Alright guys, see it's got a little silent chain, and that's it. Probably will just slide right off. What's keeping that motor? Let's see what's keeping that motor on. There's a key. I don't see anything keeping that on the shaft. Okay, so the chain comes off right here. There's a little bit of an Allen key right there. Here there's a like a master link. So we're going to pull. Man, that's the smallest Carter key I ever seen. It just fell apart. Oh, probably shouldn't have done that. It'll come out that way, huh? And this one just slides on. Alright, I gotta study this a minute. Alright, so what I've done is I've taken and pushed that link out, and that should come apart. See? That's what we can get it all the way out. There we go. The chain should be a little pin. Alright, so there's our gear. Got a bronze bushing in the middle. Alright, so get this out. See. There's no set screw, so I guess it's pressed on. Oh, look at this chain. It goes together like so. And I guess it goes like that. And on this back side it has right. Got the motor shaft off. And like I said, we're just going to get this running. So I'm not going to mess with this gear unless I have to. So we're going to take it now, and we're going to take this motor loose, and let's see how bad a shape this motor's in. I'm going to bring you around over here where you can see it. Alright guys, so we're going to take the motor off now. And I'm going to shoot it with some of my stuff here. Let's see if I can get to that one. One over there is going to be kind of a pain. Alright, so may have to break out some big boys on this. Remember, we're doing this to as least amount of work as possible. See what we got here. It's a Brown and Brockmeyer company motor. It's a wow. It's a 720 RPM, half horsepower, 110 volt to 220 volt motor. So that gives us a a problem. It's got a frame size. Nope, no frame size. So, 110 volt motor. So that means it's got a capacitor, or it's a rotary motor, or okay. Well, let's cut the cameras off for a minute and let's think about what we got to do. Alright guys, so I misread the tag. It is a 720 frame motor, and it's an RM 720 frame, and it's a 1725 motor. Okay, half horsepower. So what we're going to do is, I'm not sure how they have it wired, but we're going to have to figure that out. But we're going to take it apart and we're going to look at the inside of it and see if it's going to be salvageable. I do have a couple motors that may work, and if we need to, we'll replace them. We may even replace it with a three-phase motor if we need to get variable speeds. So the first thing we're going to do, I've left the wires wired up where we'll know where everything goes to the switch box. And we're just going to break it loose and take it apart. Alright, we need a 9/16 on the back side. That's half inch. Alright, I've never dealt with one of these, and it's got all kind of crap broken out of it. Broke spring. Yeah. I may have to get somebody that knows what's about these motors to help me with this, because I can't. I've never dealt with one. It's the one that's and I can't remember the difference. Alright, so now what we need to do is find out our spacing. Five and a half by 7.5. Alright guys, so this motor is done. I mean, there's parts laying around. I think this is called a repulsion induction motor. It actually has an armature in it, and I've never messed with those. And the parts that are laying around in it, I'm not sure where they go. I might look at it a little later, but you know what? I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time. Like I said, eventually we'll put a 3-phase motor on this machine where I can take and speed it up and slow it down with a VFD. Right now it's only 1 speed. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that when I was looking at it. But unless there's some way to change the speed here with the cams and things. But back to what I was saying. I found a motor here that'll work. We're gonna modify the. I went through all my motors, and there's a couple that would work, but you have to do this, do that, make some bushings. This one would probably be the easiest. Like I said, this video I just wanted to get it up and running, see how fast and how reasonable we can get it up and running. So I'm gonna have to pull the motor mount off, make some modifications to the motor mount, and then we'll mount this motor here to it. And this is a 110 volt or 220 volt, whichever one you want. I think it may be 3/4 or a 1 horse. I've had it sitting around the shop for years and never really found anything to use it for. It's got a reversing switch on the top here, a couple other things. Again, we're just trying to get this thing up and running, and I'm trying to do it, you know, bottom dollar. And what I'll do is you know, we don't have to count this as an expense, because you know, most people don't have motors laying around. So with that said, next video I'll probably start modifying this motor mount, and we'll get this mounted. I really like this setup, this gear train. It's really nice with the silent chain. That just seems like that's a really good setup. Again, I would like to have when I really redo this saw and do what I want to with it, I'd like to have a 3-phase motor on it with a VFD where we can control the speed. Other than that, you know, I think this will work fine. So that's going to be about a wrap for this video. In the next video, like I said, we'll start on the mounts and maybe get some of this cleaned up, and hopefully we can get it running in 2 or 3 days. So with that said, from the Backyard Machine Shop, so long.